everyone. I am Dr. Vyshnavi Bommakanti, and I am a full-time ENT surgeon and a skull-based surgeon presently working in Hyderabad. I am also a faculty for NEET PG, Next PG, and FMGE students at various offline and online coaching centers. So today I wanted to bring up a topic which my students are messaging me and telling me that they are unable to concentrate their time at home, unable to utilize effectively their time at home. So we are going to see how to effectively use this lockdown time with productivity and positivity. So with this, we'll just get going. So isolation is something that we are not really used to. All of us are used to waking up in the morning, getting dressed up for your work, going to your schools or your colleges or your libraries or your coaching centers. So there are various activities that we do, and it's never been that you're going to stay at home all the time, all by yourself in isolation. So isolation is something that we are not used to, and that's something that kills us mentally, even though not physically or emotionally. So mentally you don't feel that need, or you don't feel that urge of studying, because everything around you is not the way it has actually been there since all these years, and suddenly you feel that you are somewhere lost all alone in this journey to your exams. You may be talking to your friends, you may be talking to your colleagues, but somehow that balance in life which you have, that everyday course or the everyday mundane activity that you do, is somewhere lost in this period of isolation. And that is when it affects you as a person, you as a student, in producing the best out of you. But what can we do? If you manage your time really well, you can get the best out of you with a good time management. Time management is something that is very easy to say. For me, it's quite easy to say that do this, do that, but it is very, very difficult to act and to implement. It has to be realistic. Only if it is realistic will you be able to do it. Don't try and do something that is something out of the world. I'm going to study 16 hours a day, I'm going to study 18 hours a day. But is that realistic? You can do it for one day, you can do it for 2 days, but not for a longer period of time. The second thing is your productivity of work decreases. Your time has to be smartly managed, and that's very, very important in this time of lockdown. So what is it that you have to do? First and foremost, find your ideal space of study at your home. See, your brain recognizes your home or your bedroom or your bed as a place where you relax, where you sleep, where you find peace. So that's a place where your mind or your body has been trained to just go and relax. And if you're doing that same activity of studying, sitting on your bed, relaxing on your bed, just lying around here and there, lazing around and trying to study, you won't be able to do that. So find one space in your room, one space in your house which is well lit with good ventilation, gives you a positive energy, and focus your time only in that place. Try and study in that particular place. So over a period of time, your mind will get adapted to studying at that particular place. So always find first and foremost one particular time to study, place to study, and a time to study. The second important thing is, don't just sit down there in your house clothes or whatever it is. This may not be a very, very important point for you at this point of time, but since you have a routine that you have in your life, like you wake up, you take bath, you dress up for your college, dress up for your library. Similarly, when you're doing that activity, your mind or your brain subconsciously knows that the next activity that you're going to do is to go and study. So this is the exactly same thing that happens, that you're going to transform that corner of your home which you have designated as a space for studying is now going to be your library, is now going to be your coaching center, is now going to be your classroom. And you have to go and sit there just like how you go and sit in your classroom, well dressed, in a good frame of mind. So that is very, very important. Just don't go there with your house clothes or your pajamas. It will reduce your ability to concentrate, and you will not have that same zeal or same enthusiasm to study. They may not be very, very important points at this point of time, but trust me, try and implement this and it surely works. The next important thing is set a daily routine. You need to have a routine, you need to have a timetable. So it's very important how you divide your time. Divide your time into three sessions: a morning session, an afternoon session, and an evening session. So try and focus most of your morning time very, very wisely and very, very effectively. So try this morning session to be utilized by you for doing major subjects. For those who are doing NEET PG, next PG, or FMG, go and do your major subjects like your medicine, like your surgery, your OBG, or your pediatrics, which are a little difficult subjects, and your basic subjects like anat, physio, micro, and path. These subjects require a lot of time, a lot of understanding, and morning when you are just awake from your bed and just when you are there, you just have to concentrate on these major subjects before you feel drained out through the day. So try and do these major subjects in the first few hours. So divide this morning session somewhere between 9 to 1. So you have got about 4 hours of time. Now you can't sit with a book 4 hours constantly. First, after half an hour or 45 minutes, your efficiency comes down. Second, whatever you're doing is just a passive reading. It's a subconscious reading. It's not a conscious act. Now, what is subconscious reading? You are just flipping through the pages. So if you're just flipping through the pages, you may not be able to recollect or register exactly what you have read. Maybe you're able to understand, but you have to actively recollect whatever you have understood or whatever you have read. How do we do that? Take a 45-minute session. Okay, take this 45 minutes, mark 9 to 9:45. What is the topic that I am going to study? Don't take a big subject or a big topic. Say, for example, if you're taking ENT, which a subject, which is my subject, don't take complete year to be studied in this 45 minutes. I'm going to do all the MCQs in 45 minutes. Don't be over enthusiastic, be realistic. So just take a small topic. Say, for example, I am going to do audiology. I am going to see hearing tests. So in this 45 minutes, focus your time only on those topics, like that topic you have designated for yourself for studying. Once you have finished this in your 45 minutes time, the next thing is to recollect whatever you have done in the next 15 minutes. Just because you finished, don't jump to the next chapter. Close your book, keep it aside, just close your eyes and think. If you want, move out from your place, go around the house, but consciously try to think. What did I study today? What was there in audiology? What were the tuning fork tests? What was the inference of Renee's test? What was the inference of Weber's test? So try and actively recollect whatever you have studied in this 45 minutes. And when you do that, you yourself will know consciously whatever has got registered into your brain and what has not got registered in your brain. And that will help you. When you keep studying topics like this, over a small period of time, multiple files will get allocated in your brain, and your brain exactly knows what is there in that particular topic, even if you are going to attempt an exam on that topic even after a few weeks or a few months, because you have consciously read it and made a conscious attempt to recollect it. What is required is just intermittent brushing or recollection that you could do as a part of your revision. So try this 45-minute session, make 4 45-minute sessions, and that will be productive for you. This is how you designate or do your morning session. So now 9 to 1 you have done a morning session. Next, what are you going to do? With 15 minutes break each means you have taken almost an hour off. You're just utilizing 3 hours of your effective time. In your afternoon session, say you're going to do it from 2 to 6 or 2 to 5. You have a 1 hour break time. In this 1 hour break time, you could probably have your lunch, you could have a small nap, you want to talk to your friends, you want to talk to your parents, you want to talk to your family members, just move around, just doing some exercise, you want to meditate. Whatever gives you happiness has to be done in this 1 hour. You may feel happy sleeping, you may feel happy talking to your friend, you may feel happy talking to your parents, you may feel happy dancing around, doing yoga, doing meditation. So do something that keeps you happy, because happiness will push you for the next session. You can't stay depressed throughout the day that I'm studying, when will the study get over? No, that's not how you're going to take yourself or pull along a long path. This exam of NEET, next PG or FMG is a very long path. You have to maintain the same amount of dedication, the same amount of consistency for quite some time. So do something that gives you happiness in this 1 hour. Again, between the 2 to 6 session, because it's afternoon, you feel a little sleepy, you feel a little drained out because morning 4 hours you've spent studying. Try again the same 45-minute sessions. Try to do maximum of 3 sessions. I'm not asking you to do 4 sessions. Try to do maximum of 3 sessions and try to do MCQs in this session. So the aim of this afternoon will be MCQs to keep you awake. If you go on reading theory and concepts, most likely you will feel sleepy and drained out and you won't be able to concentrate. And even if you're studying, just despite having that sleepiness, you are not doing an effective study. It is being an ineffective study. So try and do MCQs. Don't go to the explanatory part. Just mark question, answer, question, answer, question, answer, question, answer. After you finished your 45-minute session, give the first book to your parents, your sister, your brother, or somebody whom you live with, or your friend or your colleague or whatever, and try and ask them to correct whatever you marked. And once they have identified whatever you have done as the wrong option, ask them to bookmark it with the help of a sticker or a paper mark, or fold the page, something where you can go back to in your next session, and you can go back only to those points or those topics which you have marked wrong. And this also will help you that the number of bookmarks that you are, or the number of wrong things that you have done in your MCQs, you can exactly revise those topics only before going to exams. So you have already listed out the difficult topics which you are not good at, and second, you know what you're good at, so you don't need much of a revision of those good topics. The last session of the day, again give 1 hour gap between the afternoon session and the evening session. So this 1 hour is dedicated for your happy time. Okay, and then you do from 7 to 11 or 7 to 10. You do again a 45-minute session over here, but try and do something different now. You can't have a mundane activity throughout the day. It will just get you exhausted. You need to keep changing your activities. That is what is going to push you. So what is it that you can do in the 7 to 11 session? There are number of platforms which are giving you live classes, number of platforms that are giving you live sessions. A recorded video may pull through at least half an hour, 45 minutes, and that's a subconscious learning. But if you go through a live class, one, you are in contact with the teacher. Two, you can always ask the doubts which you had throughout the day. Three, you are active, you are alert, and you are discussing with the teacher on that point of time, and your entire time is going to be utilized in the best possible way. And that is probably the time in the evening when you're absolutely drained out, and even if you want to put an own effort to study, maybe you can't produce the same amount of productivity as much as you would do with a mentor sitting with you online, or a teacher sitting with you online and correcting your mistakes and giving you tests, giving you polls, and making you answer and making you realize what you're wrong at. So this is where your live classes or live sessions come into picture. For those who are NEET, Next, or FMG, YouTube has a live session from Unacademy, and Unacademy itself hosts free live sessions. So it's not mandatory that you have to pay. Sitting at the comforts of your house, you can have free live classes on these platforms, and these are going to be beneficial for you. You can always choose to have your own teachers or your own mentors who are ready to give you a video class through various apps that we have today, video calls through various things. So if they are okay with it, you can always do that. If they are not okay with it, you always have different platforms that are giving you free studies or free education. So divide your time. One session where you're doing your self-study, one session where you're dedicating to MCQs, and one session where you're testing yourself where you stand in rest of this entire world of competition. So that will keep you on track, and you know that morning I'm going to do this, afternoon I'm going to do this, evening I'm going to do this, I have happy hours in between, I have 15 minutes of gap in between, and that will get you exactly the productive time that you actually need to have. Number three, it's very important to stay in contact. We have never been trained to be in isolation. We have never been used to staying in isolation. So it's very, very important that you stay in contact. What does staying in contact mean? It does not mean that you randomly call everybody, randomly message everybody, my LKG friend, my UKG friend. No, stay in contact with your friends who are preparing for the same subject or the same exam as that you are preparing. Have a co-study with your friends. Tell them that in this session we are going to plan up this, let's see, we'll finish all this. If you have some doubt, discuss it out with them in your 15-minute gap time. If you have some doubt, always ask the teacher in your live classes in the evening. If you have something, you can always come up on a platform which provides you live teachers assistance, and that will help you be in touch and be in orientation with your subject when you don't have your coaching classes or your colleges to do your subject. So it's very, very important that you are not disconnected from this entire world. You do not know what the entire world is doing, and you are at your own pace, doing it at a very slow pace. I'm just going to do this particular topic today, and I will do the rest of the topics tomorrow. And then 2 years also won't be sufficient for you to be prepared for your exam. Staying in connect, staying in contact with your friends, with your colleagues, with your teachers will help you plan up your subject, will help you keep you on track with the subject, and that's how you can stay focused towards your exam. Also, you have to learn to disconnect. It's very easy holding a cell phone into your hand, getting a WhatsApp message, then you scroll up, then you go, you reply to messages, then you go to your Facebook, then you go to your Insta, then you go to your Twitter, and you've seen that you've lost 1 hour's time. And that 1 hour could have been easily very, very productive, which you have wasted. So it's very important that you learn to disconnect when necessary. In your 45-minute session, it is very important that you focus. In your happy time, you want to do chatting, you want to see Insta, you want to see Facebook, you want to exercise, you want to sleep. That is all up to you. But in this 45-minute session, what you have kept for studies, do not deviate. If you deviate, you are just losing your track and you are going to be offbeat, and that is not going to be something that's going to get the best out of you. The last thing that I'd like to say here is develop an attitude to stay and be happy. That's the very, very important thing. Most often we think that success is happiness. This is not very, very true. There are people who are extremely successful but are unhappy. There are people who are unsuccessful yet very, very happy. It is only your positive attitude that will push you. And this is something that you need to have at this point of time. Don't ever think of giving up. Don't feel that I am less. I'm lesser as compared to my colleagues. I don't have enough knowledge or adequate knowledge as much as my peers do. You are capable of everything. It is only your attitude that changes the outcome. And don't relate your success. Even if you get first ranker, you may be happy for that point of time, but it doesn't mean that first ranker is going to give happiness throughout your life. So success is not a determination of the amount of happiness that you have in your life. It is your positive attitude that changes your life from now till you live forever. So this is very important. I don't say that success is not important. Success is equally important, but the most important is having a positive attitude, and that doesn't come all of a sudden. It has to be developed. It requires some amount of effort from you, a conscious effort where you want to develop a positive attitude towards everything in your life. So with this, I feel that somehow I have given you a little bit of plan and a little bit of motivation to go about for your exams, to improve your utility or productivity in this lockdown period. I wish that these points are taken into consideration and you do your best in this lockdown time. I will come back again with more of my videos, and I will tell you how to utilize or how much amount of time has to be given for each subject in your NEET PG, and then you can develop a timetable that suits you the best. So until then, take care. Bye bye.